Good morning. Good morning. Now, for a couple of months now, I've been attending local council meetings, West Suffolk, um, and a few others to mention as well. Um, we often look at how we solve the problems of the world, and it's been sitting. Well, I believe so anyway. It's been sitting right in front of us since the get-go, really. So I just want to give you a little bit of background as to what's been going on for me and colleagues over the last couple of months. Attending council meetings, sitting there listening to the councillors, chair people, and then the general public having their say and not really being listened to. Now, I've watched the responses of councillors when public talk, and some of them take notice, but the majority don't. But at the end of every meeting, I make a concerted effort to go up to these councillors and speak to them on a level, on a respectable level. I don't talk at them, I talk along with them. I listen to them, I absorb what they say, and then I will have my say. But I will say it in a way that doesn't raise the hairs on the back of their neck. I don't speak to antagonise. I speak to try and educate. This is what we need to do. So simple. So simple. In life, we're kind of taught to overcomplicate things. And that for me is where the problem is in society. Everything is overcomplicated. We need to go back to the basics and simplify things and do things in the most basic ways. And that's talking to people with respect, try and understand what they're saying. And if you don't understand what they're saying, ask them again. Again, if you go back to our school days, in primary school, junior school, high school even, a teacher says something to you in class, and the teacher says, "Do you understand?" And everyone says, "Yeah, they do." But I know from experience that when I've gone out into the playground afterwards as a child, I say to my mates, "Did you understand what Sir said?" And they say, "No, I didn't have a clue." And this is the problem. We all go along with something even though we don't understand it. So if we don't understand something, ask. And ask in such a way which is respectable, not antagonistic, because that's got to be the way. That's got to be the way we do it, in my opinion. So I'm now looking to getting people on board, and doing it the way that I believe works. Now, some background with me, a bit of a bad boy when I was younger. I learned the error of my ways as I got older. And one of the things that I've been doing, and I was talking to a lady called Jo Owens this morning, Jo Owen on Facebook earlier today, and it suddenly occurred to me that I've been doing this for years. I've been actually involved in conflict resolution for years. So why aren't I putting that into use? On a wider level, greater level, higher level, rather than just sort of like sitting in the background and following other people. And don't get me wrong, other people are doing great things, but it's not a one size fits all. So I'm kind of the mindset of, in order to get somewhere, to achieve positivity, we need to resolve the conflict. And the way we do that is by engaging with people who perhaps don't see things our way. You know, I've done this with local councillors, and I always end my conversation with them by, and it's called networking, but I end my conversations with them by saying, "Do you mind if I email you so we can have further discussion on this?" And thus far, I've not had one councillor say, "No, I don't want to hear from you." Not one. They've all said, "Yeah, look forward to hearing from you." And so I get back home from the meeting, and the first thing I do, what's fresh in my mind, is start putting something together. And this is what I've done. I've sent emails to councillors so far, and so far, every response has been positive. That these councillors, they don't know. We assume they know. We assume they know what's going on. And that's why we get frustrated at them, because how can you go along with something? Well, we need to recognise that they don't always know what's going on. You know, they tend to work with things like, oh, there's a pothole on the road, or somebody's council roof needs fixing, it's not being done, or there's damp in a house and things like that. And this is what these councillors tend to do. But they don't know about everything else that's going on out there, you know. And this is where we come in. We talk to them in a respectable way, and help them to understand what's going on. If we go at them with a hammer and tongs and expect them to understand what we're talking about, just don't think it's going to work. Well, it hasn't so far. You know, and I'm looking to creating something here, and I want people on board that's going to understand that in order to resolve something, we need to understand it. And it came to me today, like I say, I was talking to Joe, that I've been doing this for 30 years. Resolving conflicts in the community, resolving conflicts between the authorities and the people, resolving conflict between young people and the police, and basically just de-escalating things. And it is so simple. It's so simple. So we need to talk, we need to work together. Don't knock the door down. Just knock on the door, let's work together, and be a little bit humble. A little bit of humility doesn't hurt anybody. You know? We're so full of, humans are full of ego, we're full of pride, and we need to sort of like dampen that down, just dampen it down. And I was one of those people, and I still have those moments, of course I do, I'm a human being. But we all have these moments where, how dare you say that to me, who do you think you are? Well, if we want to get positivity and resolve, then I just feel that it's so simple. Respect other people, listen to them, and I mean properly listen. Don't skim read in order for you to talk. Don't just ignore what someone's saying just so you get your word in, because this is where the problem is. You need to listen to each other and talk to each other on a level. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing what I've suddenly realised I've been doing for 30 years anyway, and that's to resolve conflicts. And if anybody wants my help in that, let me know, because I do honestly believe this is the way forward, by working together with people that we see as the problem. If they are the problem, we're not going to be able to solve the problem unless we work with them. So let's try and help them to understand where we're coming from in a positive way. Just a quick video on a Sunday morning. So I hope you have a lovely day. It's beautiful out here. So going to go in the garden and do a bit of work in the garden, me and the missus. And I'll speak to you again soon. All the best. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.